what happens when we take away movement? I mean, you could feel it in yourself that we say don't move, and it may seem like um, we're being harsh or something like that, but in fact, it's a real gift to bring yourself to that still point, that 0 point where everything can quiet down, and there's nothing extra. Um, so I don't remember exactly how I answered it that morning or what I said that morning, but um, what what strikes me about the power of that, the power of stillness, is that it's it's part of how this training exports to everything. It's sort of like, how to say this. Um, when we're fidgeting or when we're moving around, there's always agitation. And in a way, it goes back to the point Peter was raising about how sensation kicks things off, or perception kicks things off. There's always more agitation. But when we take it down to nothing, it's like we can be free. It's putting a clutch between impulse and action. So the thought can arise, but it doesn't get acted upon. So there's now a place of freedom in there where, rather than just being a knee-jerk responder to whatever impulse is arising in me, there's now a choice, a ability to choose. So something can start to open up in that space, that we are not enslaved by our impulse. Oftentimes when people first start sitting, they really struggle with this don't move thing, because it's kind of unusual. A lot of forms of meditation don't include that. They allow you to move and fidget and move around, change your position and stuff. So it's hard when people first sit with us sometimes, when they, what's this don't move? What's this don't move? But I've asked people, even right at the beginning of their training, what changed for you when you couldn't move? And they often will say things like, well, I didn't like it. I mean, I instantly had to, I basically ran into myself, and I had to start breathing better because I was so irritated. It's like, that's pretty good. That's helpful. Or someone else will say that, well, I could see my mind much more clearly because all these thoughts and all this stuff rose up. It's like, well, that's good to see. So it's almost like so much of our Zen training is compressing time in a way, where what might take us 10 years to figure out about ourselves, we might figure out in 10 weeks, right, in Zen training, because we compress how many times we can run into ourselves per unit time. And one of the ways we do it is by having a fairly, I'll call it, severe form of training. So the body, we're running up against our habits so quickly that we have to learn through them.